Good day everyone, this is Leia Baluya and I am going to discuss to you about a reflective teaching.
Reflective teaching is to educate teacher education students on how reflective teaching works. Reflective teaching is a process where teachers think over their teaching practices, analyzing how something was taught and how the practices might be improved or changed for better learning outcomes. These modules begin with learning outcome and ends with assessment tasks following the reflective teaching concepts. Activities and reflections were included within the discussion of this module to give students the opportunity to interact with the learning materials throughout the modules.
We have the objectives of this chapter are the following. First, define what is reflective teaching. Second, describe the significance of reflective teaching. Third, identify the different critical reflection techniques that can be utilized in mathematics teaching and learning. The last one we have understand how reflective teaching works. If you reflect on yourself, you will enter the gates of wisdom, or the school gate. Learning is what your students do in your school. But not only the students are there to learn, but the teachers too. To become a better version of yourself, you must embrace feedback and criticism and reflect on your own teaching. What is reflective teaching? Reflective teaching, it is a process where teachers think over their teachers' practices, analyzing how something was taught and how the practice might be improved or changed for better learning outcomes. Another definition, it is a personal tool that teachers can use to observe and evaluate the way they behave in their classroom. Another, it is about more than just summarizing what happened in the classroom. The last one we have, it is a quieter and more systemic approach to looking at what happened. Reflective teaching means that you take a look at what you do in your classroom and think about why you do it. Then think about whether this works for your students and for yourself. Why is it that reflection important in teaching? Well, when reflecting, you're collecting information about what goes on in your classroom. When analyzing and evaluating this new information, you can identify and explore your own practices and underlying beliefs, which may lead to change and improvements in your teaching. How to understand the things that influence the way he or she teaches. Things such as, first, practical theories about teaching. Second, the teaching context such as class size, student language levels, access to technology, textbook, and curriculum. The third one is knowledge, attitudes, and values. What does a reflective teacher do? First, solves problem in the classroom. Second, is aware of the assumptions he or she brings to teaching. Next, understands in the instructional and cultural context of his or her teaching. Next, participates in the classroom in curriculum development and school change. The last one we have seeks professional development opportunities. How does reflection take place? Many different approaches can be employed if one wishes to become a critically reflective teacher, including observation of oneself and others, theme teaching, and exploring one's view of teaching through writing. We have the approaches to critical reflection. Peer observation. When we say peer observation can provide opportunities for teachers to view each other's teaching in order to expose them to different teaching styles and to improve opportunities for critical reflection on their own teaching. Some suggestions for peer observation we have each participant would both observe and be observed. Another, pre-observation orientation session. Another, the observation. The last one we have the post-observation. Another approach is to critical reflection. We have written accounts of experiences. Another useful way of engaging in the reflective process is through the use of written accounts of experiences. According to Powell 1985, their potential is increasingly being recognized in teaching education. A number of different approaches can be used. Another approach to critical reflection is we have the recording lessons. When we say recording lessons, it is about the aspect of teaching. Audio or video recording of lessons can also provide a basis for reflection. While there are many useful insights to be gained from diaries and self-reports, they cannot capture the moment-to-moment processes of teaching. Many things happen simultaneously in a classroom, and some aspects of lessons cannot be recalled. Another approach to critical reflection we have reflective journals. Reflective journals are notebooks or pieces of paper that students use when writing about and reflecting on their own thoughts. The act of reflecting on thoughts and ideas, feelings, and their own learning encourages the development of metacognitive skills by helping students self-evaluate and sort what they know from what they don't know. The process of examining one's own thoughts and feelings is particularly helpful for students who are learning new concepts or beginning to grapple with complex issues that go beyond the right and wrong answer. We have the process of reflective teaching. First, recollect or map the event. The second one is inform, question, and evaluate. Under the second process of reflective teaching, we have three. First, what does my evidence show me? Second one, what inconsistency are there between my beliefs about good teaching and what I actually do in the classroom? The last one, how might I teach differently? Analyze the mapping, the collective evidence. Promoting students' reflection to improve mathematics learning. What does reflection look like within a mathematics lesson and when should it happen? Reflection can take many forms and is often dependent on the age and abilities of your students. For example, young students may not be able to write fluently, so verbal reflection is more appropriate and can save time. Verbal reflections, regardless of the age of the students, can be captured on video and used as evidence of learning. Video reflections can also be used to demonstrate learning during parent and teacher conferences. Another reflection strategy for young students could be through the use of drawings. Older students could keep a mathematics journal, which is a great way of promoting non-threatening teacher and students dialogue. Reflection can also occur among peers or small groups of students. How will you incorporate reflections into your mathematics lessons? For example, when students are involved in a task and you notice they are struggling or perhaps not providing appropriate responses, a short, sharp verbal reflection would provide opportunity to change direction and address misconceptions. Reflection at the conclusion of a lesson consolidates learning and also assists the students in recognizing the learning that has occurred. They are more likely to remember their learning what they have had to articulate it either verbally or in writing. Different mathematics teaching approach with the application of reflective teaching. First, we have the flip classroom model for teaching mathematics. In this model of teaching mathematics, students watch pre-recorded or by the teacher lessons prior to coming to class. This model incorporates use of technology to leverage the learning in a mathematics classroom so a teacher can spend more time interacting with students and engaging them in discussions related to the mathematics. The classroom becomes the place for a mathematical discourse. The second one, we have the structuralist approach for teaching geometry, using visual, hands-on models to present basic but abstract ideas. The structuralist approach for teaching mathematics means using a series of specific, concrete, intuitively accessible models to allow learners to explore and to discover mathematical structures through a spiral cycle which revisit key abstract mathematical ideas. The third one is integrated environmentalist approach. In this approach, mathematics teachers consider mathematics as being integrated with other areas of knowledge and can be discovered by exploring problems within the real-life context. Mathematics is also used for imposing an abstract structure on contextual situations. The learner's environment is essential as the base not only for the abstraction process but a source of meaning, inspiration, and motivation. The last one, we have formative approach. This approach is designed as entirely learner-centered. The main teacher's goal is to match learning opportunities with learners' ability with an aim to improve each student's understanding of mathematical concepts. Encouraging students' self-reflection. Providing students with opportunities to self-reflect is a powerful way to help them understand that their effort must be focused, and it gives students specific tools they can work on to improve. That's huge for many. It can be the difference between feeling powerless or having hope. How to encourage students? When you learn how to do a new kind of problem, it grows your math brain in a growth mindset. How about in a fixed mindset? Not everybody is good at math. Just do your best. If you catch yourself saying, I'm not a math person, just add the word yet to the end of the sentence. That's okay. Maybe math is not one of your strengths. That feeling of math being hard is the feeling of your brain growing. Don't worry. You'll get it if you keep trying. The point isn't to get it all right away. The point is to grow your understanding step by step. What can you try next? Great effort. You tried your best. How did you grow as a mathematician today? We have first, describe a new strategy that you learned. Next, tell a math word you learned and what it means. Another, describe a mistake you made and what you learned from it. Another, explain how you challenge yourself today. The last one, tell about something you noticed today and how it helped you solve a math problem. Thank you for watching.